I love you.
Hey guys, thanks for joining
Hi,
me.
everyone.
Welcome to
Hello.
Sunday night.
Welcome to
D&D.
Sunday and D.
Hello.
My name is Anthony. I'm your DM. Here today with Zyra, Grandius the Great, 1092, the Dane Frost Ironside's beard.
I'm drawing runes on your map.
And
Stop messing with his maps.
Raquel.
Runes. Everything could use more runes.
That does not look like runes.
Look at the picture I sent to Discord.
We're trying to do the fire rune.
Well, fire rune and the sky
Okay,
rune.
well, no offense, but it looks like boobs. Very saggy boobs.
Very saggy boobs.
These are well, are you calling giant runes saggy boobs?
Pretty much. Yours, anyway.
Aww.
Aww. Tony made them go bye-bye.
Tony, no more saggy boobs.
All right. Now, if everybody is ready.
Yes,
believe
I've
so.
already started streaming. They got the whole
whilst
saggy
I open
boobs.
My gigantic M&M tin.
Ooh, an
M&M.
M&M's.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat
It
a
was on
cookie.
discount because I went early on the day after Halloween.
And you know what? I have Danish butter cookies.
I'm not
so-
gonna lie, I was very disappointed because I went and
Exotic
I had to work the next day or the day
Yeah.
after. So I went into work in the morning expecting there to be a bunch of stuff to choose from, and there was like nothing good
Well,
at
see,
all.
a lot of the stuff that Walmart put out this year
Mhm.
was the stuff that they regularly have on the shelf.
Huh.
So even though the box had like cobwebs on it, spider webs, the product inside that box was regular packaging.
Oh, that's weird. They don't usually mark that stuff down.
They didn't.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the selection was so bad.
Oh.
Because the only stuff they could discount was the stuff specifically with Halloween packaging. And since inside the Halloween boxes they had regular packaging, they just throw that in the back room and restock the shelves with it. Because it's regular product. They were very clever this year in reducing their reduction.
That's very smart.
It is very smart, but not very happy for me. There's a reason that I like Halloween the day after. Just like Easter and Christmas.
It's the day after the holidays are the best.
We always go shopping on the day after Christmas, early in the morning, so that we can get the discount decorations and shit.
I always do that. I love that. And I was expecting to get some discounted Halloween decorations this year like I usually do. But I haven't gone to Walmart since Halloween, so I have no clue what's even left there, and I didn't really have the extra money, so I figured it'd be better for both me and Devin's budget if I did not go to Walmart.
There's Snickers and Skittles in here.
Although we're going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow, so I might check out their clearance.
Where are the M&Ms?
Holy crinkles.
All right, folks. You guys are in the Capitol. What are y'all doing? Ooh, a Milky Way.
Wow. Anyway,
you need to figure out new jobs.
Yeah, I think we'd looking for a bounty board or something to see if there's anything nearby.
1092 suggest something?
Sure.
Absolutely.
I know it's a little out of the ways and like a good trip, but 1092 comes from a mercenary guild.
I like where you're heading with this.
What he's saying, though, is if you refer to your map.
Prepare for a walk.
Hold on.
If I'm right, it's quite a bit of a walk.
It's the other side of the map.
We have horses.
Hold on.
Literally the other side of the map.
Seriously?
Right, but it's faster to take horses than walk.
Well, Here's the thing. Dane would like this though, possibly. We'd be going to the city with no name.
Which is a dwarven city.
Okay, where on the other side of the map are we talking?
You know the canyon?
Far off to the west.
Canyon?
You know where you see where the desert is, right?
I see Orc Country.
You see Orc Country. Right next to that is a desert.
Look
Okay.
north.
Above that is forest. Between the desert and forest, on the complete west side of the map,
Mm-hmm.
there is a canyon that is sort of badly drawn.
Because Tony sucks. I mean,
Look at
Wow.
Wow.
this map was drawn by your mother.
oh well. This
Oh,
Ouch.
oh. Deep-seated
Sorry.
burn.
At any rate, that's where the
why it's so
canyon
good.
is between the desert and forest.
Okay.
Alright.
That's where he
Well,
wants
Did
to
we
go.
give up on the whole ocean rod thing?
Possibly, possibly not. I've spoken with King Thesis and I've got some ideas.
Now remember, you do have. There is a possible clue in Santuan, a possible clue or staff out in the ocean, out in the water,
Right.
a possible staff or clue down in the burial grounds, and a possible clue or staff in the near or around Bash's tower.
But the
Right.
one in the ocean's the closest that we know of, right?
The one in the ocean is currently the closest that you know. Actually, closest to you is the Santuan.
Right, but all we know of in Santuan is the possible clues that we could get from the books of the great uncle of Mrs. Plenty.
Yes.
Alright. If you'll excuse me for a moment, I have someone I have to see after speaking with the king. I'll be back with some supplies and we can decide which way we're going then.
Okay.
I also
Yeah.
have somebody to go see.
You're also
And I'm going to
go up?
head to the Enchanter.
All right.
I'm gonna head over to the church.
Actually, can I tag along with Dane? I want to go see the Enchanter.
actually, the enchanter might not be bad for me.
Aye, you're welcome to join me if you'd like.
Thank you.
Very important business over there.
Place my armor.
Dude, your armor class is already like 19.
It's 18 currently.
Yeah. Any more and you'll be and you'll make things really hard on Ricalo and Zyra.
Okay, then never mind.
I'll be fine. I have various different ways to
Yeah, but
deflect.
what about Zyra?
What about me?
Austin's trying to make his
We
armor
keep-
class 20.
Or 19?
I'm only a 15.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why he's saying it would be a bad idea.
Not necessarily a bad idea. It's just the stuff that I would have to throw at you to be able to do any damage to you
Would kill us in 2 hits.
would kill Zyra.
I squished.
Now,
But I'm going to the Enchanter. Maybe I can change
now
that.
if they get through you,
Right.
if you tactic it right and actually be a tank, then
Which is how I'm trying to change
What?
up to be.
What is
Right.
Dane's armor class?
Dane's
Uh,
armor class is he's
seven-
got 2.
I have 17 without my shield, 21 with.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a badass shield.
And-
When he has his shield, his AC is 23.
And
Or
the
21.
and
Nice.
Grandius is a what is it, a 16 without a shield and 20 with a shield?
Yep.
Yeah.
That gonna
So,
tag
I
along.
mean, I could give you a 19 or a 20 and balance everybody out,
Yeah.
but your squishies are already in trouble as it is.
So
I can bump
and
my
I also
AC
don't.
up to a 20 as a
Yeah,
reaction.
I don't think.
by
I don't
throwing
think
up
I.
shield. Just remember, shield is a reaction.
I
And you
don't
can
think I
throw it up
have
once per round,
enough
and
money to
I
buy
think-
plate mail yet either.
I think it's also a it's not a cantrip.
No, it's
He's got his
it-
spell. He's got his.
it's a spell. It's a level 1 spell, except that I can use the charge from my staff to activate it, so that I do not need to use a spell slot to activate it.
Just remember how many charges your staff has left.
Right, but it resets at the end of the day. I rolled a d6 or whatever it was at the end
you
of the
roll
day.
a d6 and you get that many. You get that many charges left.
Right.
You get that many charges back.
Zara, what are you wearing for armor? Out of curiosity, maybe I happily throw some. I would throw some money in too to get you some better armor if necessary.
Ricalo can't wear armor.
You
I'm
stopped
talking-
paying.
Yeah, Zyra.
Oh, I thought he said Ricalo.
No, I said
Technically,
Hold on.
Ricalo can wear armor if he gets proficiency with armor,
Right.
which comes from feats. You can do armor proficiency with feats.
I have studded leather armor.
what can you go up to? Out of curiosity.
Let me look. What's that?
Light, I think. Light or medium.
Hold on. I will look
Bards
it
are
up.
typically light unless they're a college.
What, like College of Sword of Valor?
All right, let me look. It
College of
says armor proficiencies, light armor. Excuse me. I think that's all I'm seeing is the light armor. Where is it? Yeah, that's all it's telling me is I'm proficient
By the
in
way,
light
my
armor.
puppy's alignment is hyperactive.
So what exactly is considered light armor? Just leather?
Up to studded, I think.
So I'm already at the highest.
I think we could get you a chain shirt or something, though.
No, it has to be light armor. That's not light. That's why I was going to go to the enchanter to find out if I could get an enchantment on my armor to make it any better.
Okay.
Because that's what I need to increase is my armor class.
Until you get something that allows you to wear medium.
Or you could get boots of speediness and add your and plus your dex again.
Okay, so we're off to the enchanter. We're off
Yep.
to see the enchanter, the wonderful enchanter of wherever we are.
Rune, if I remember right.
Rule.
Rule.
Rule, my bad. Rule, not rune.
Just because we were drawing runes.
Yeah. Mixed me up. All right. So yes, we are headed to the enchanter.
The enchanter. You go to the enchanter of the upper crust here in the capital.
See, upper crust.
Basically has a witch's hut at the end of a dead end street.
Okay.
You're looking at it looks like your typical Victorian haunted house.
Okay.
So
It's
when
dusty,
we
it's
enter
run
it, there's
down.
gonna be some spooky guy, and he's gonna say, "Step all the way in, please."
When
Hey,
you walk up to the
quick
house,
thing. Quick thing. If you guys want to role play anything but the enchanter for a minute, my kids just got home, so I need like 10.
okay, who's doing?
I was going over the church.
Okay. Again, the capital has a church complex.
Yeah, the church. Oh, Paylor.
So the church complex is basically, a temple. And what that means is basically it's a bunch of different temples in a large area. So, going to it, where are we? Yeah, going to it, you see basically a large sort of Colosseum type thing. And since this is a human capital, for the most part, even though lots of other races live here, what you see beyond is a gold-colored marble walkway that goes from the arch entrance to this Colosseum-looking thing straight to a marble fountain.
Okay.
And then beyond the fountain, in the same distance to the wall of the other side, is a gigantic temple to Pelor, the human sun god. In half circles on either side are a bunch of temples to other gods, small, medium, and large. None of them as big as the temple to Pelor, though. There are people everywhere.
Yeah, I would like to go into the Temple of Pelor.
I've turned you up 4 times. I still can't hear you.
He said he's going into the temple.
He is
of
pretty
Pelor.
quiet.
I don't know why I'm quiet. Usually I'm not. Haven't changed anything.
I've got you at max volume. Anyway, the Temple of Pelor is probably it's shaped like it's probably 5 stories, 6 stories tall. We'll say 6 because I don't like uneven numbers. And it's shaped like a giant white brick castle. It has 2 towers, and the towers are attached to the main keep.
And a Return of the King?
No. No, the king never left, or hasn't left yet, so he wouldn't return. However, your fellowship has gone somewhere else.
Lord of the Rings puns, I love it.
You approach, and there is a clear water moat that goes around the temple. The temple is made out of brick, but they're white brick, and they shine in the sunlight. The top of the 2 towers, teehee, and the top of the spire, the roof, the slanted roof parts of the main keep are painted in gold. And the sun just shines off of it. Right. There's a drawbridge. The moat is only about 10 feet wide and maybe 5 feet deep. It's there for show. So, going over the drawbridge, even the chains that hold the drawbridge are painted in gold. And when you go in, you realize that they're not hooked up to any crank. They just kind of hook up to the walls. So the drawbridge doesn't actually move. It's all for show. You go into a marble floor painted in a giant Pelor symbol on the floor. And then there are various doors on either side of this main hall looking like thing. So basically, you have your main temple complex. I'm making a little drawing here. Or you have your main temple here, like this.
Look at this.
Piece of brick.
The drawbridge is right here, like this.
Yeah.
And then there's a tower here.
Ooh.
And a tower here.
What am I looking at?
And then there's two eyes, a nose, and that's the tongue. It's a monkey!
Wow. Okay.
Anyway. So that's basically what you're looking at is two towers, and then you got a great hall, and then you got a drawbridge. The Great Hall on the inside only takes up about this much of it. And then there are doors all along here, and doors all along here, and doors all along here. There is a shrine in the middle for worship. So now it's a zombie monkey.
Zombie monkey.
I am going to go find some like a higher up sort of concept.
The Archbishop is busy at the moment. However, there are several people you can talk to in his stead. The next one down, which is just a bishop, is the way it's organized, as you well know, or don't until I'm going to tell you right now. Is there's an archbishop, there's like 6 bishops, and then there's a knight, a rook, several pawns. No, there's the archbishop, like 6 bishops, and then there's like cardinal level, and then there's priest, or paladin, cleric, priest. So as paladins are above you militarily, you are above priests. So in this temple, you know how in the other temple you were kind of like the ranking member?
Yeah.
In this one, this is where the archbishop of the religion sits, kind of like the Pope. There are a few the archbishop and the other bishops are in council, but there are several cardinals you can talk to.
I shall talk to one of the cardinals with the request for them.
Which request?
It's the request to go get some sort of higher power than just me over in Rothel.
Oh, right.
The priest.
Yes.
A bishop would be.
A bishop would be too high.
Would be too
Or
high.
well, something with
So what they're gonna do is, instead of having a cardinal go there, they're gonna do what they normally do, and they're gonna send a paladin. Paladin is 1 level above you.
Boy.
And the paladin is going to assess whether he should stay or whether they just need a cleric. Hang on. Dropped an M&M. I've got to get it before the dog. Got it. Anyway, either way, they are going to send more priests,
Paladin.
and with that, more money. So basically, a paladin and a contingent of priests are going to be moving in for a while. And the paladin will assess whether they should stay or have a cleric go in their stead. A cleric in town means a cleric or a paladin in town means they'll have a holy healer. And having more priests in town means that there'll be more presence, basically, of the religion than just that one tired guy.
Yes.
They're happy to do it. And should you find any other temple that has been neglected, feel free to send word of where it is. And they'll do what they always do, which is to send an investigatory group to find out what the temple needs.
Okay.
So you're it's sort of a side quest for you from your higher ups in your church. Is basically to not openly search for, but search for neglected temples of Pelor.
Okie dokie. I can do that.
The church is willing to give you a commission of either 5 gold per neglected temple or 5 gold to the neglected temple in your name. Or anonymously if you wish.
Um,
And they remind you that, or may I remind you as a DM, that greed, though it's one of the 7 deadly sins according to Christians, Pelor doesn't care. If you take the commission, you take the commission. That's what you do. You're an adventurer.
I think I'll probably have them give it to me just so I can, like, give it to them myself instead of have them wait.
Yep. So what they do is, for whatever reason, you use it at your leisure once it's out of their hands.
I mean, mostly so my group can help me do the quest of trying to find all these places and upgrade.
Right.
Not enough minerals. Damn it!
Not enough minerals?
Tried upgrading, it didn't work.
Oh. Not enough minerals. Are you playing StarCraft?
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh.
Because I'm
Oh,
upgrading the
I
temple.
get it. You're trying to upgrade your temple, but you don't have enough minerals. Gotcha.
Bad pun. Bad pun.
So there,
once I'm done there, I would actually like to regroup with the rest of the party at the Enchanters because I'm pretty sure they're going to take a bit longer.
yeah.
By the
Basically,
time I'm done, they're probably still there. So
by the time you're done, they're getting there because the temple complex is not that far from the palace. So, is Dane back?
No.
yet.
Okay. Well, we can do the other parts of the Enchanter. Whatever you guys want to do there. So, as you walk up to the enchanter's house, the door bids you welcome.
The door?
And asks, yes, the door. The knocker on the door bids you welcome. It's kind of like, it looks like a little demon face with horns.
Oh.
Made of bronze.
Okay.
And it looks at you and wonders why the hell Riccardo is laughing so hard.
Sorry. Reading a joke.
Focus, man.
So
I am.
The knocker bids you welcome and and says, basically wonders why you're there. Basically comes up and says, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the enchanter's place, where the enchanter enchants. What do you want?
Where the enchanter enchants.
Oh.
Speak up.
Well, Zyra, I believe you were here to check about your armor.
Mm-hmm. I was seeking enchantments for my armor.
Okay. Okay. What kind of enchantment?
Something to increase my defense.
Okay. Okay.
If I only had a heart.
Oh
wait, I'd be happy to sing that to Riccardo.
Oh my god.
Ralph. Okay. Okay. Why?
This is a very curious knocker.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Well, speak up.
I'm dinging. Why am I dinging? Did he ask me another question?
Yes, he's asking you why.
Why?
Why?
Why I want better armor? Because I am an adventurer, and sometimes I come across things I need defense from.
An adventurer, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Kieran should be on in a bit.
I suppose.
Am I still talking to the knocker or a person?
Yes.
The knocker, okay.
I suppose.
Eyeing the knocker very curiously.
Thinking.
I could probably help you with that.
Okay.
What kind of armor?
I don't know. Do you have a suggestion?
I think he's
What are
asking.
you wearing?
Oh, what am I wearing? Oh, I'm wearing leather, studded leather armor.
Studded leather.
Is the doorknob the enchanter?
I feel like this is like a drive up enchanter, and this I'm talking. I'm giving my enchanting order to the
insert
the
gold coin
knocker.
enchantment.
He's gonna be like, and he's gonna be
You're gonna
like,
end up
pull forward.
Zyra's gonna end up in a glass room, and people are gonna put coins in, and she's gonna be expected to take off her studded leather armor for them.
Oh my god!
Hey, that's one way of making money.
Don't laugh, because in my other D&D group on Fridays, I've actually asked if it's possible to prostitute myself for money.
Well, I mean, you could.
Right now, 1092 offering.
You're prostituting yourself?
I don't
Is that what
think
you're
you
saying?
have any genitals of any kind to make that work.
No, but it's
That is a
nice
very good
and
point.
craftsmanship.
Oh my god.
My girlfriend is flicking my neck.
Where is it? I had the cost of enchanting up at one point. Now I can't find it.
The doorknob lost it.
Are we at the enchanter at this point?
Yeah, we
she's
just
talking
got
to the
here.
doorknob.
Where? Yeah, she.
The door
Zyra
knocker's
is talking.
interrogating me.
The door knocker has been talking to her for the past like 10 minutes, just going, "Why?"
Well, excuse me. I have this paperwork from King Thesis of items that I'm supposed to pick up here.
Okay.
I was advised to meet with the enchanter. Are you the enchanter or one of his
He's a door
pieces
knocker.
of artwork? Creations.
Caught me.
Then I
I
really,
am
really
a
like to pick it.
door
Hermione really wants to poke the knocker.
Do it.
Enter and talk to
Not a door knocker.
someone who cares.
You seem to care an awful lot about her armor, but aside from that, we'll be on our.
Oh, I do. I do. You see, what you tell me, I tell the enchanter.
All right. Well, we'll go speak to him ourselves now.
Him? No, him.
Her, the enchanter, or whatever the person may be. Sorry, I assume
We don't have a
gender
name.
there.
Be very, very careful. She's ugly.
Oh my god,
Is-
that's horrible.
Is her name Pat?
Open the door, and it will open.
I would gesture to Zyra to open the door since she's gotten very intimate with this doorknob.
Oh my god.
Very intimate.
Sure. I'll open the door. Perverted door knocker.
For the record, this doorknob just
Door knocker,
insulted
not doorknob. It's not Alice in Wonderland.
Whatever, this door knocker just insulted its owner. Just saying.
I mean, just because the owner of the store doesn't look like another door knocker doesn't mean that. I mean, maybe.
Well, did they
maybe
mean
the owner's
ugly in appearance or ugly in personality?
We're gonna find out. But I gesture ladies first and allow Zyra to enter.
I go.
Hermione walks in before her, not knowing.
Trying
courtesy.
not to touch the door knocker in the process.
Okay. Let's see. Uh-oh.
Nope, not really. You were poking me earlier.
You walk in and you see sitting in a chair with her eyes closed a woman. You assume she's human. She has a very thin, wiry look about her. She has a long, pointy nose. Not like, it's proportional to a human nose. It's just pointy. She has a very jaundiced look about her. So orangish look about her. And she has very long fingernails, not painted. Her eyes are gray and cloudy.
Is she blind?
And she's wearing a long black dress that has a V-neck. There's no shirt underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is hanging out, but they're definitely hanging down.
Saggy boobs.
And she's staring right at you.
It is.
The
They look like
place,
balloons.
the place is the size
One
as
chocolate chip each.
that it is. It's a Victorian mansion-looking haunted house. And when you open the door to go in, it's a double doors, but it's actually a enchanted triple doors. When you open the door in the middle, it kind of disappears on you, and the two doors on the outside of it open up, and there she is sitting in a chair in the middle of this grand hallway with, kind of Titanic-like grand staircase with a great big grandfather clock at the first landing, and then it goes to the left and right further up, and a couple of doors on one side and doors on the other, and right in the middle she's just sitting on this throne. Maybe it looks like black painted bones.
Oh, great. We're dealing with another necromancer.
Hey,
And
what time of day is
she's
it?
just blankly staring at you with her jaw hanging open and her head kind of cocked to the side.
What time of day is it?
I'm just gonna give it evening.
All right. Good evening, madam. We're here to partake in any business you might be able to cure.
Her jaw snaps shut and her head goes straight in line with her back with a loud snap.
Oh,
Creepy.
And she
Horrifying.
stands up, and with one long crooked pointer finger, she points at Zara
Mm-hmm.
and says, "That one first. She spoke to me. That one first."
Oh, so it's not the door knocker that likes me, it's her. That's creepier.
fuck.
No trickery.
Okay.
I will know.
Okay.
Tony, before we get too far into this, how would I be able to identify whether or not this is a trick by the enchanter, like the doorknob?
That would be some sort of Arcana check.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for it.
Why not?
I was actually curious about that. The neck snapping and the gray clouded eyes. That's setting off some bells for me.
I'm not proficient, and I rolled a 12.
Okay. She's hard to read for you. Go ahead, Raquel.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Raquel.
Yeah.
I know you rolled a 19, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you assist and give Dane the natural 20.
Okay, that works.
Because that's how it's supposed to work in D&D 5th edition is you can assist.
Yeah. Like we would be kind of talk back and just have a little conversation.
You're whispering to each other, and the two of you glean the following information. She's not dead. She's a hag. It's a race.
Okay, so she's a type of witch.
Yeah, she is a type of witch, and the race is called hag. The jaundice
witch
look,
of which type of witch is a hag?
No, it's the race
I
hag.
know. I'm just. It was a play on words, Tony. I was
I
using
got
witch
you right.
in multiple.
Bad.
A hag is a race in D&D 5th edition that's not necessarily magic users. Most of the time they are, because a hag is supposed to be what you'd think of as a witch. The jaundice look about her, it makes her a certain subspecies, but you're not sure which one. But this is definitely a hag. She is alive.
Michael, come in here for a second.
And the fact that she's able to be here in the capital means that she must be legit. Otherwise, the Archmage wouldn't let her be here.
Okay. Well,
You do also notice with your natural 20 that there is a permanent scrying spell above her head. Somebody's watching her constantly.
Somebody don't trust her.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I look at her and I say, "Well, you already know what I am looking for. Are you able to enchant my armor?"
How much do you want to spend?
How much is it going to cost? Let me see.
That depends. What do you want? You can walk in here and simply say, I want enchanted armor. Well, that tells me nothing.
I'm not sure how much enchanted armor goes for.
It depends on the enchantment, my tasty-looking friend.
You say pasty or tasty?
Tasty with a T.
Oh my god.
T as in tobacco, which is bad for you.
This just got weird.
Hags can be both cannibalistic and lesbians, by the way.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
The 1092 may or may not have had his hand rested on his weapon when that was said.
And Dane would be tapping you on the hand, letting you know that that's not necessary. We're in the king.
He's still gonna have his. He's at least gonna rest his palm on.
Has Grundy's entered yet?
What would?
You would have, yes.
What would 300 gold buy me?
Not much.
Okay.
If you are looking for the basic enchantment, which gives you a little bit more protection, out of character +1.
Got it.
That is a rare enchantment, which is going to cost anywhere between 500 to 5,000 gold.
Holy shit.
How much would that
Being
bring
that
it
it's
up?
a +1 armor, you're looking at more like 500.
+1's 500.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Them's the breaks with 5e. 5e is making magic a little bit more difficult.
I see that.
As far as items go. In 3rd edition, this would probably have been like a 200 gold enchantment.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest change from all previous editions that has been reported to 5e is 5e is more about the characters surviving to learn the story of the DM, whereas previous editions we're gonna just kill you at some point and you're gonna start.
Yeah.
Character death is a little bit harder to come by in 5e.
Are weapon enchantments about the same rate?
Yes, but again, it depends on the type of enchantment you're looking for.
Like, say, if I wanted to,
for a minute, like if I were to give you,
because I use my bow the most, so
right,
it would be on my bow.
Let me see what I've got here. Oh, Bag of Holding is an uncommon now.
I wonder if a Ring of Protection or something.
Don't tell Devin that.
Sorry, what?
His eyes just
Bag of Holding?
Big.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, Bag of Holding, they usually have specific and non-specific versions too. Like, you can have a Bag of Holding that's simply designed for heads, or weapons, or food, or you can actually get a Bag of Holding that's restricted to a specific item, and it's supposed to make it less expensive because you can't put just any.
Devin has a Bag of Holding in his other D&D character, and he
loads
that thing.
I am very interested in a Bag of Holding.
Please tell me you're not trying to store fire.
The one thing that I can do is a +1 weapon would be anywhere between 100 and 500 as an uncommon. +1 armor, they've bumped up from uncommon to rare.
So what would be +2 to the weapon? Just out of curiosity.
+2 to the weapon is probably going to be a rare.
So that's that would be 500 to 5,000 for the enchantment.
Yeah, let me here. Weapon +2 is rare.
That's a huge range, 500 to 5,000.
Yeah, but 100.
Well, it depends on the item. If you're looking at just a basic enchantment, what you're looking is more towards the 500. If you're looking for a rare named item,
is my bow rare?
5,000. Yeah, because there's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary.
I say because
right,
my bow must not be common because my bow is that special one I got from the elves that does 2 shots.
The elven double bow.
Yeah,
but it's not enchanted, so
No.
it's common amongst elves.
Oh, okay.
So Tony, what would be the difference between +1 and making the weapon magical and +2, price-wise?
I would say that depending on what you're looking at for making it magical.
So it deals magical damage, non-specific magical damage.
Non-specific magical damage. You mean an extra?
Meaning werewolf or vampires would take full damage from that weapon.
Okay, a +1 weapon does that because the +1 means that it's a magical weapon.
Oh, because you sold me a battle axe and a longsword that were.
Oh wait, no, that's right. Because it was a not enchanted, but
craftsmanship.
The craftsmanship was better.
Yeah, I'm looking specifically at a 5th edition magic item by rarity.
Oh, so this would make it a magic item either way.
This would make it a magic item.
I'm just realizing Victor's
she can get a bow that is craftsman that is +1 that won't be magical.
Right. No, my goal was to get her the weapon. I wanted her weapons to be magical, and how much would it cost to do so?
Now, the reason to have magical over craftsmanship is that if you come across a creature like he was saying that like takes half damage by any non-magical weapon, this +1 for probably 600 more than 500 because you're in the capital. This +1 weapon would be magical because it's been enchanted.
Okay, so
you can also do, instead of the weapon being enchanted, you can have enchanted ammunition, which drops it down to the uncommon 100 to 500 range.
But if I remember right, once the ammunition hits, it's no longer magical. You're like
also talking about 100 to 500 per arrow.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Okay, Tony, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. How much would it cost to give her weapon +1 and not need ammunition because it uses a magical bar of energy?
That is that would go up into the very rare.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be pretty costly.
Getting pricey now, Dane.
Well, what I liked was I wanted to do that with a crossbow, and then I wanted the crossbow fit with an auto reload. So you just click you hit a button, and it slaps it back. The bolt is there because it's a magical bolt, and then you pull the trigger. So you eliminate the need to actually use the reload feature.
Oh.
I've created that without it being magic.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically, you know how some semi-automatic weapons have a clip?
Yeah.
You have a clip of arrows. You put that clip of 5 arrows in, and then you know how a shotgun cocks from the bottom?
Yeah.
A lever. The Germans created a crossbow back in the medieval times. The Germans created a crossbow where there is a cocking lever on the bottom of it that pulls the string back and locks it into place.
The Chinese did a very similar one as well.
The Chinese did too, yes. The Germans one was just bigger.
Yep.
And what I had added to the design is that clip of bolts. So when you cock the thing back, it brings back the string and locks in a bolt from underneath.
Like it.
Nice.
And then you just tap your trigger on the bottom and it lets go of the string, and then you cock it again and the string comes back and one bolt comes up.
Right, but the
set of
difference the difference between that and what I was talking about is it would use basically a magic missile
Yeah.
as its bolt. And you push a button after you pull the trigger, it's like a free action, push a button and it automatically tosses the string back into the loaded position. So there's no cocking mechanism. It would be a magical feature of the crossbow, making it superior. Heavy crossbow, D10 damage, +1 magic bolt, and it's basically an auto reload.
That would be
He's trying to pimp out my
hella
bow.
That would be hella costly.
Well, the cool part was what we were working on with mine is we were working on a way to reload a hand crossbow in that fashion, and it was being done by an artificer, so it would have been an actual mechanical piece that worked off of like gears, and you push a button and it's just through a mechanical means pushes the string back into place. And if you enchant the weapon to have that magical ammunition load in it, as soon as it is cocked, it loads the magical ammunition. So you basically just push a button, it reloads, fire. And you don't have to take the crossbow feat to eliminate the action of doing a reload.
I would call that a very rare item as far as a bow that doesn't require ammunition. So that
I had a
would go
feeling
5,000 to 50,000.
Holy shit.
And the reason that I was what always I think makes me think of that is the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon series.
Yes, she had a bow that didn't require arrows. I'm looking for
Or a string.
Or I just need Legolas's quiver that automatically magically refills. What? Don't shake your head at me.
No, he was just really good at filling it back up.
Yeah, exactly. He would retrieve them from his marks.
I mean,
I'm
he used to
playing
kill
an
things
artificer
without
in my
shooting
other
them with an
campaign.
arrow.
Yeah, at several points he like stabbed him straight in the face with an arrow.
Yes, but then he also shoots right immediately after as well.
Right, using the arrow that he took
Went
back
through somebody's
out of
eye.
his face. Yeah.
the other thing is that you can have ammunition, that you can have a quiver that returns your ammunition to you.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
And then there's the whole like you stab somebody in the eye and then you come back and you shoot somebody else in the eye and you think to yourself in that moment as an elf, I'm pretty sure the guy I just stabbed in the eye has conjunctivitis and now you do too.
Oh my god.
If they're not dead.
In any case,
Right.
I'd
Pretty
be
sure if I
asking
shoot
this,
them in the eye, they're probably dead.
I would ask the enchanter about a bag of holding.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
we
we're
are
still
here.
on me.
She
Back off.
was very clear that she was helping Zyra first, so we got
Yeah.
to make sure
No.
we don't
Back
want to
off,
upset the
Pushy.
shopkeeper because we want to get the best price in town.
Well, I just figured that Tony was looking up prices and different things, so I figured while he was doing that, we could take care of something else.
No, don't skip ahead.
Hi,
But
Victor.
Zyra, if you needed extra gold to give yourself a +1 magical bow, I would chip in the extra
Do you
gold.
think that's more important than +1 to my armor?
I would have done.
Yes. You're very good at staying away from the fight nowadays and not taking damage. Most of the damage you're typically going to take is going to be based on dexterity, wisdom, charisma, saving throws, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Your AC is important, but not necessarily as important as your fighting. So when you hit level 4, what did you take for bonuses?
I don't know.
You did take a feat or a bonus to your ability.
The only thing I adjusted when I leveled up was my hit points and my spells.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
Oh dear God.
what's your
Okay, I'll go take care of that.
What's your dexterity? What's your charisma score?
Let's see. Dex, the big number, or the big number, or the little one?
Yep, the big number.
The big number, the 3.
Sorry, the larger of the two numbers.
Oh,
not
16.
The size.
16.
And what's your charisma?
Charisma is 15.
15.
Start looking through this.
Put
I have that. You stop.
put 2 points in your dexterity. Make it an 18. That's gonna bump up your armor class by 1.
Okay.
Because your dexterity goes into your armor, so that makes your dexterity a 4, and your
Just
bow.
FYI, I don't know if I've done this for any of my level ups.
You only do it at level 4, 8,
Okay.
12, and one
Got
other
it.
one. As a bard, your ability score increases are
I can't
less
listen to
often as
you
up.
and Dane at the same time. You need to stop.
But yeah, I would drop the extra 2 points in your dexterity.
That's where I just put them.
So that changed your
I'm up to
smaller
18
number
on
to
a
a
dex.
4. Yep, and it
Yep.
changed your smaller number to 4.
Yep.
And then all of your dexterity based proficiencies just went up by 1.
Mm-hmm. My armor
And
class
then
is up to
your
14.
your weapon attack should have gone up by 1, and your weapon damage now goes up by 1.
Yep, it did.
So see, now your bow is more useful.
Okay.
And your armor class should have gone up by 1 too.
Yep, it did. That's all
As
I
a
adjust, right? Just my dex?
As
Okay.
a bard, dexterity and charisma are the 2 things you want to worry about the most.
Okay.
And oh shit, hold on. You may not want to make that
tell
change.
You exactly what you just spent the last 10 minutes talking to him about.
Yep.
You can take either a +2 to that, or a +1 in one thing and +1 in another. And you could possibly choose something from a list of the feats, which you could take a +1 for dex, and something additional if you chose an appropriate feat.
Does she have the sharpshooter?
Ability that would do something extra, like I took Drow
So-
Magic, so I got a shit ton of extra spells.
So
It's a whole bunch of
Elven
shit that you could
accuracy?
choose. Like athlete,
Elven
you would
accuracy
get
is a really cool one.
+1.
What's that?
Elven accuracy is basically you increase your dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get the ability to have advantage. If you have an advantage on an attack roll, you basically roll 3 dice instead of 2.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Because it gives you it doesn't tell you have to take the new roll, but you get to re-roll one of your advantage dice, and that actually gives you a 3rd roll towards your advantage whenever you use dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma to attack. So you could bump your charisma up by 1 instead of your dexterity to bring your charisma to 16. That's going to bump up your spellcasting ability modifier and your spell save DCs, and then whenever you do a dexterity attack,
Google Play.
you then gain if you have advantage, you can gain a triple roll, which is really good. It increases your likelihood of actually hitting or getting a crit.
See, Devin was just talking about feats. Is that what you said?
Feats.
Why is none of that listed on here?
Which is why I.
Well, because Elven accuracy is in
these are your
Xanathar's.
feats that you could choose. So, for instance, athlete. If you wanted to, you could take a +1 to either your strength or your dex,
Mm-hmm.
and climbing no longer costs you extra movement, and you can make a running long jump or a running high jump after moving only 5 feet, or on foot rather than 10 feet. Or you could choose anything else.
Hold on. That's the one he was just talking about.
Elven accuracy. There you go. Choose dex, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma to increase by 1, and you get advantage on an attack roll using dex, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. and you can re-roll one of the dice once. That is an amazing one to choose for your build.
Okay.
You take
How do I add that to my character sheet, though?
Write it in.
Where?
So, for instance, we would bump this down to a 17 because it would only be going up by 1 instead of 2. And then down here...
You have to hit enter, sweetie.
Down here, where it says features and traits, you would write it in.
Oh, I gotta write all that.
So,
Jesus.
Which one are you bumping up by 1, Zyra?
Charisma.
Based on what you got.
Or not charisma, dex.
And what were you looking at taking?
The elven accuracy.
I would actually forego the increase in dexterity for now and increase your charisma because it'll affect spell casting. It'll put you in even 16, and then when you get your next bump, you can always put it in dex.
You said put it in charisma instead.
Because you'll actually gain something by putting 1 point in charisma where you would need an extra point next time in dex. Or you could wait and you could do 1 in dex, 1 in charisma next time and get both up by a point.
So you said it was level 8 when we do that again?
Yeah, we got a ways to go before we'll be there. That's the only down.
Damn it. So that's the downfall to taking this then, because I'm not getting my armor or my attack on my weapons up, and that was gonna accomplish both.
Yeah, but you're gonna roll 3 times when you have advantage, and Tony does give us advantage on fights with flanking and a lot of other things.
A lot of DMs don't allow flanking the way I do, even though it says in the book, any creature within 5 feet grants flanking. Some DMs don't allow flanking unless you are actually on the opposite side of the
He said
enemy.
to put that down, so
i.e. if Dane here on the map was the enemy,
16, right?
yes,
a lot of DMs
And then
still
so
only
put it in
allow
charisma.
Grondius here to have
'Cause it'll
advantage
increase
if
my spells.
92 is over here.
Yes, it will.
The book says anywhere
Thank
within
you.
5 feet,
And by the way,
which technically means
this will help you a
Yeah.
lot.
Okay.
this
I
entire
didn't
square
install
area.
anything because my phone has like absolutely no space on it.
Here, look.
Okay, well, you gonna get me a
got
card to
them
put more
right
memory in my phone because I don't have
Yes, I will.
space.
Yes, I will. Look. Feats,
Mhm.
which is what I have open on my thing right now.
Okay.
Go into backgrounds, you can go into your class, you can go into your race,
Thank you.
all of that.
What are we doing?
I'm all set.
So, are you done tweaking your leveling?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that no time has passed while we're doing this because you had to finish leveling.
Okay.
But she is still wondering what you're looking for.
I'm still wanting to increase my damage on my weapon by 1, whatever that's gonna take me.
Okay. So she says,
And you said that would make it magical?
yes, for an enchantment, yes.
Okay. How much are we looking at for that? Is that you or her yawning?
I wasn't even yawning. I was just
whatever that sound was. Were you in character?
No. No.
While we're figuring out the cost of that, Tony, I would be curious to know if there is a method that, as a wizard, I would be able to tell who is on the other end of a scrying spell.
There's no way to tell that.
Is there a method that I would be able to tell where it's from, or anything?
Wouldn't that tell you who was
Okay.
doing it?
No, not necessarily. Like anything to identify it of any kind.
No, there's really no way to reverse the scrying spell.
Okay.
So she looks at you and she says, I can make your bow better for 600 gold and 24 hours.
Are we sticking around for 24 hours, guys?
We can stick
Hi,
around.
we will.
No less. You'll come back tomorrow, an hour from now.
I have only got 612 gold, so if I do this, I am not going to have any money for a while. For anything.
Consider $200. I'm gonna chip in 200.
Okay.
I'll chip in a 100 for this as well.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
So how much is being chipped in right now?
300, so I'll pay 3.
I'll throw in 300.
So I'm paying nothing?
Zyra should pay something.
I'll pay something. She's so
Alright,
pro.
then I'll pay 200.
Jeez. Thanks, guys.
This group. The good of the many outweighs the good of the few or the one. An elven philosophy. An elven philosophy.
Right.
I mean,
What do you want? And points at
Recallo?
at Ricallo.
Okay. I would be interested in a bag of holding if you have one available.
I would be interested in you, tasty mortal.
Your turn.
Why a bag of holding? So common. Well, uncommon, but still.
Hey, Dane,
I
can you
want a
jump
bag
in
of
DM chat really quick?
unholding.
what am I doing?
Can you jump in DM chat really quick? I have a
Sure.
question. I don't want to interrupt them.
I
I'm just fixing on the new damage to my bow. So do I put it, because it says damage 1d6 plus dex plus 1, do I change the 1 to a 2?
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so your damage should be the dice plus dex plus, is it, you're proficient with the bow, correct?
Yes, I have proficient checked. Right now it has plus 1. So should I change that to a plus 2?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
So it was actually a higher quality elven bow then, because you had a plus 1 already. So you'll get plus 2.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you also need to, under attack, because you get, when you do that, you get a plus 1 to your attack too. So read off your attack stats in the top part of that.
Dex plus 1 plus proficiency.
Okay, so that would be plus 2.
Okay.
And actually, you have your information for your bow damage wrong too. Wait,
Do I?
do you? No, you don't. You've got it right. It's
Okay. Oh, God, I can't stop burping. Excuse me.
so your attack, yeah, it should be dex plus 2, and then plus your proficiency should be checked.
Okay. When I look at it after I minimize it, it says longbow attack is +7.
And it was +6 before, right?
I was not paying attention.
No
But
problem.
I think it
What
looks
other
right.
weapons do you carry?
I have a dagger, a rapier, and that's it. Because everything else is
Okay,
spells.
what is the plus next to a dagger?
5.
And the rapier
5.
and +7 is correct because
Okay.
you're +1 from having a higher quality bow and then +1 from it being magical.
Okay.
And you want to make a note somewhere that it is magical damage somehow,
Okay.
or remember that it's magical damage.
Let me see if I have the spot in here. It says it's not considered a save effect, right?
No.
Okay. It says slashing damage. Should I change that to magic? Type of damage?
I mean, it would be piercing.
I don't know why it says
Actually,
Actually, it's blank. It just is like gray, like an example.
what I would do is next to the name, put like maybe in parentheses magical.
Oh, okay. Got it. Perfect. Thank you.
Hey guys,
We're coming back.
what's this all?
He was just helping me get my character sheet changed for the +1.
Okay.
I
We were
didn't want to
adjusting the
interrupt you
bow.
guys, so I had him help me down
Yep,
here.
no problem.
Coming back.
We're popping back.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Back.
Kieran, you're on?
He's been on for a while.
I just barely noticed. Hi.
I saw him come on.
Wow, poor Kieran.
They're at the obviously if you didn't they're at a enchanter's place, a hag.
Sounds like.
Did you find out
and
about your
they're-
bag of holding?
Yes, I paid 300 gold and I picked one that's black with silver brocade.
Does it have a specialty or does it hold everything?
It's just a regular bag of holding.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nope,
Would it be
no
possible for me to pop
specifics.
out of the bag of holding?
No. Well, I mean,
Shapeshift into a
technically-
mouse.
You can go in there,
Technically-
but there's only a couple of minutes of air in there.
yeah, there's only about
Aw.
10 minutes of air, and then you'll start suffocating.
Cool. I am not inside of the bag of holding.
So I asked 1092 what he wanted. He said nothing, so I told him to get out, and he pushed Dane in front of him.
Right.
Okay.
So I've got these papers I got from King Thissus, commissioning work from you for the group.
Commission from the king. Yes. What? What is it?
All
The
right.
paper.
Here's the papers.
I'm blind. I can't read this.
It's for magical starfish for the group as well
You
as
say
rings.
magical starfish?
Yes. Oh, you want to go underwater, do you?
Aye.
You want rings that will protect you from the pressure and the cold. And you want a starfish that'll make you drown.
Yes. Aye. That's exactly what we're looking for.
It
He did explain
has-
how that works.
Excuse
It
me.
has
I
every
apologize
time.
to the
Starfish that makes you drown.
I apologize to the group. Getting accustomed to breathing underwater is going to be a painful process, but trust me,
It
it will
hurts
work.
every time.
Oh, lovely.
Do we need one for 1092?
No.
Nope.
But we need the ring for him.
Yes.
For the
Can-
pressure, not the cold.
It's gotta be a big
Right.
ring.
Well, it'd be a magical ring. They fit to your
They
finger.
size
just
to
like
the
one.
person.
Ah.
She goes
Just like
through
magical
and
armor does the same
she
thing
goes
too.
over to, and every time she goes to reach for something, like that wall of bag of holding just showed up and then it disappeared. You're still in the Great Hall, and all that's in front of you is a throne. So she goes over to a shelf that appears that's got nothing but rings on it. And she goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of you, yes? That's what I smell? 7 of you?
There's only. Is there 7 of us or only 6 of us?
Oh,
There's
there's
7 of
6 of
us.
us.
Oh!
I think you're
Yeah,
counting
like
yourself,
me.
Tony.
She takes one out
Oh
and puts
yeah,
it back.
you're right. I was counting Tony too.
No, she was counting herself.
Ah.
And she puts the rings in a little pouch and she tosses them to Dane. And even though she's blind, she tosses it right to him. And then she says, Starfish, starfish. Yes, starfish. Oh, I know where they are. They're over here. And she points and another shelf appears. This is a display case with water in it, like a fish tank. And there are 6 jars, empty jars. She takes the jars and she dips them in, and then she reaches down and she plucks a starfish off the side and puts it in the jar and closes the tops, screws on the top.
I'm curious, would I recognize what she's doing as pulling these shelves out of another plane, or would this be more like an illusion kind of thing?
She's pulling them from plane to plane.
Okay.
But actually not plane to plane, more room to room. Because, I mean, like I say, you're in a Victorian mansion, a haunted house.
All right, Tony, I'm going to attempt to do this while you're collecting the starfish, because I did get the information on them. All right, so the first things first, they can only survive out of water for about 10 minutes. They can go in any container with the water. It has to be seawater. And that's really it. We just have to make sure that they stay alive. Once we decide we're going in the water, we take them out of the container, place them on our chest, jump in the water, allow ourselves to drown, and then gills appear in our chest to allow us to breathe.
We allow ourselves to drown.
Aye.
Every time.
And then once we are out of the water, we take the starfish off the chest, put it back in a container that held seawater, and they will stay alive.
Do our gills go away?
So
at that point, yes.
Technically, you don't get gills. Technically, you breathe through the starfish.
Oh.
Okay. So do we each get a starfish, or do we have one starfish that we?
No.
This sounds
all getting
very
one each.
uncomfortable.
And remember,
I told-
to apply
I
it,
told
you
the
have
king-
to really be forceful. You have to tell the starfish, you are the boss, and you must smack it onto your chest.
Wait, what about a starfish? Hold on a second.
You haven't been listening to any
1092
of this,
doesn't
have
have to
you?
do it.
Oh, so I'm the only person that didn't have to pay attention to the last 3 minutes because I went to the bathroom real quickly.
Yeah, pretty
Right,
much.
the starfish thing doesn't apply to you. So Tony, we only need 5.
So 5 starfish. 5
Right,
starfish.
because 1092 doesn't need to breathe underwater.
She goes over to 1092 and she starts looking him over, sniffing him, touching him. Dwarven make. Old. Very old. I'll pay for it. 2,000 gold.
She's trying
I
to
tell
buy
you
you.
Wait, what? Hold on a second.
She's trying to buy you.
5,000.
no.
I'm
Hold
sorry,
on now.
miss. He's
This-
not for sale.
Wait, hold on a
This
second. Hold on
particular
a second.
is not just rare. This is legendary. There's not enough money in
5,000?
this whole kingdom to buy this thing.
Dwarven. Ancient.
I
Right.
smack Dane.
I-
She's trying to barter with you. Stop it.
All right.
Hold on, I
Now,
put
listen.
I put
How
I'm okay.
much?
Just
How
pose next
much?
to- I put pose next
How
to
much would you pay for us to let you study him without disassembling him or harming him in any way?
I would not disassemble. Would use.
How much to study him to potentially make one of your own for 48 hours?
48 hours. Not long enough.
How much
2
time
weeks.
would you need?
2,000 gold. 2 weeks.
1092. He's pimping you out.
All right, listen. 2 weeks. We've got a lot of things we've got to do around here. That's not enough money for 2 weeks. You're
3,000,
asking us
2 weeks. Final offer.
how much?
3,000. 3.
I
1, 2,
was
3.
thinking. I was thinking more along the lines of 10,000 myself.
10,000. 5,000 to buy.
All right. Final offer: $5,000 rent for 2 weeks, and we each get +1 enchantment on all of our armor.
Too much. +1 enchantment. +1 enchantment is 5,000.
All right, +1 to all of our weapons then.
+1 enchantment is 500 to 5,000.
Has anybody asked to 92 if he wants to be rented out?
But considering he pushed Ricolo out of the way and started posing next to Dane.
How about 3,000, 2 weeks, it does what I tell it to, no matter what. Trust me, it can't die.
Oh boy.
King makes sure of that. And I give gift.
What's the gift?
Hang on. Where did it go? I just had it.
I love this character.
Me too.
Strange as fuck,
My book.
but the way he's RPing, I love this.
It's in here. It's, well, what is this? No, not Oathbreaker, no. Too expensive. But Quiver. Where did it go? Where is Quiver? Those are animals. You can't have those.
I'll take animals.
No, Darren, shut up.
Oh, Dane doesn't know about my new critters yet.
Shut up.
Okay, what is this? Come here. What are you?
If 1092 is rented out, though, he wants something out of this.
Owl, where are you?
I imagine you're
You're
gonna
gonna
get
be
a
with
cut.
her every day. I guarantee you get something out of it.
Owl? Where is Owl?
Not to mention, you could probably steal from her when she actually does sleep, because you don't.
By the way, for those who weren't present, not the last session, but the one before that, I bought pets, and you now see a lemur and a fox following me around.
Okay.
Where
Don't
is
ask
Quiver?
questions, okay? I like my pets. I'm from the woods. I'm from the wild. I like my creatures. Makes me feel like I'm at home.
Dane, do understand if something happens to 1092 that's bad, he will be coming after you.
We've already been told we're not going to have access to money for a while. 3,000 gold is a pretty substantial
But if
amount.
something happens to 1092 that is bad, he will.
At this point, I would whisper to 1092, "It's okay. She is being watched."
Yes. I give you flying broom.
What happened to the speaking about the quiver? I'm interested in what this quiver was. She was like,
Hang on.
Flying broom.
How many people does the broom hold?
Actually, yeah.
Maybe
How much
you
is that?
careful.
2 very small people.
Oh, no. 2
Just
human
wanna-
people.
Just want to point out that the hag is trying to give you a flying broom.
Do you know
The
how
hag.
important that is?
Quiver.
She's
It's
given
an
up her
umbrella.
own mode of transportation.
Are you kidding? A flying broom in this game might be broken.
Quiver.
Yeah,
I want
that's
that
actually
flying
pretty
broom.
beast.
How much is it?
Quiver. Where is Quiver? Ah! Found Quiver. Quiver.
That would also get you away from combat, so that could help.
Named
And-
item.
Who
Named
are you
item.
talking to?
Wait,
Named item.
hold on.
Uncommon. Quiver of Elona. Yes. Quiver of Elona. Quiver of Elona has 3 compartments. 3. One of them. Let's see. 3 compartments. Exponential space. Never weighs more than 2 pounds. The shortest compartment can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. The medium compartment holds up to 18 javelins or similar objects. The largest compartment holds up to 6 long objects, such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears. You can draw any item of the quiver contains, as if doing it from a regular quiver or scabbard. So, like bag of holding, only quiver holds many weapon and ammo. Or flying broom, only things. Plus 3,000. I get 2 weeks.
Wait, so we
10,
get the
10 okay, so here's my pitch. 1092. 100% your call. Okay, 3,000 gold. You get to choose which item we take at the end of the 2 weeks. And it can be
Keep
your
in mind,
item.
I don't think you will be able to fly on the broom. I'm pretty sure you're too heavy.
You never know.
If it can only hold 2 people, I'm pretty sure you weigh more than 2 people.
No, it
Let
would
me
be able
see
to
what
carry
it
him. But think about this: instead of him weighing down the cart and the horses, he could just fly alongside.
I just walk.
Would it hold him, Tony?
Let me look at what it says.
I just walk anyways.
I have to re-find it.
I
There
don't
it is.
ride on the cart of the horses. I walk beside you guys. I don't get tired.
Oh, that's right.
How much is the flying broom?
It's an uncommon.
He's like, I'll just buy it.
Broom
I
of
might.
flying can carry up to 400 pounds, but its
Oh, I
flying
can
speed
fire it.
becomes 30 feet while carrying over 200 pounds.
How much
I
do
can't
you
fall
weigh?
on it. I weigh 440.
Oh, just barely over.
But it would be really funny to see a 7-foot warforged trying to hold on to this tiny ass broom. It's like watching a goddamn Tauren from World of Warcraft riding a Mechanostrider.
Yes. Yes.
Well.
I
All right.
personally, I like the idea.
I look
10
over at Dane. If anything happens, I am coming after you.
At that point, I would whisper to 1092, "Don't worry, she is under constant supervision."
All right. We'll send somebody by to check in on you every day. Any mistreatment, we'll pay her back and deal us off.
Fine. You'll check every day. He be fine. I have to make him
I hand Dane my weapons because I don't trust them being around her. Don't lose them.
What item?
All right. We'd like to choose the item after the 2 weeks,
Fine.
and we'll take the money up front.
Money up front, item afterwards. Good. Go. Oh, wait. She goes and she reaches into her dress and pulls out a pouch, and she counts out 300 gold.
3,000.
3,000.
And then she counts out the rest of it.
No, at first she counts out 300, and then we just kind of stare at her with that glare, and she just kind of mumbles to herself as she counts out the.
Trust me, I did that on purpose to see if you guys were paying attention.
Gold, not platinum.
I'm not giving myself 2 weeks with a hag for less than 3,000.
Okay, so she gives you the 3,000 gold. She transfers the 3,000 gold into another leather pouch and throws it at Dane.
And I take the 3,000 gold out of that leather pouch that she had and put it in one of my own.
And she looks at you and goes, clever.
And toss the pouch
Never
back
thought
to
of
her.
putting gold back in a separate pouch. Can't anyway. I'm watched. Don't worry, pouch is normal.
I hand the pouch to Rakala. He can examine it later.
Yeah, I'll identify. I will identify and detect magic just to be on the safe side.
It's a regular pouch. Like I said, she's being watched.
And detecting magic on the coins.
Nothing.
Okay.
Don't give 3,000 gold to the drunk.
No,
I gave him the empty pouch, not the gold.
He handed me the empty pouch after he moved all the coins to his own pouch.
Okay,
so
good.
Yeah.
We gave Carlo 3,000.
And essentially, and the reason I did it in front of the hag is to make sure she understands that we only trust her as this being a business transaction, but not like we don't trust her because we know she's being.
I'm still glaring at Dane though. I may have played along for a little bit, but now I'm just glaring at Dane, realizing what has actually just happened.
So
He
for the
pimped out
next 2
1092.
weeks,
For the next 20 days.
For the next 2 weeks, 1092, you are completely poked, prodded. Molds are made of your various body parts.
This could be dangerous.
She said that she wouldn't dismantle you, but she does take your armor plating off and puts it back on. No problem. And makes molds of everything underneath. She makes various drawings of you. She also has you do manual labor for her.
I figured.
And we come in and check in on 1092, and is
I
1092
want to go first.
Does
Every
1092 feel
day,
as though? Well, and since I'll be going back the first day anyway, and he glares at me, I will escort. It's not me coming back, I'm going with whoever goes back.
Okay. Yep.
And we pull him aside and ask, does he feel he's being mistreated in any way?
I feel very violated.
But she's not mistreating you?
No.
Okay.
Just watch yourself in the night, Dane.
So
I promise the next time I have to be pimped out,
I want to go on one of the
I'll
days
take advantage.
to check how much that broom is.
So we're allowed to
So
pimp Dane out at the
1092.
next pub we're at?
amongst her mumbling, she's talking straight to you about you. And amongst her mumblings, you hear oh, hang on. Yeah, something about the Iron Face clan.
Iron Faced Clan, huh? That's going in the notes.
You hear Order of the Hammer.
Oh, goody.
You hear Up to No Good. Ancient War.
Wait, what? Order of the Hammer?
Order of the Hammer. She's basically indicating that the Order of the Hammer is or was or will be, you don't really understand, up to no good. And that Ancient War.
I've kind of already figured out what that one may or may not be.
And You Shouldn't Exist.
What?
She says you shouldn't exist.
What do you mean by that?
She pulls out an old tome and she throws it on a table. By now, you've left the main hall and you've pretty much gotten a tour of the entire mansion. It is a haunted house. Ghosts live here. She talks to them.
Can I
talk
talk to them?
It's all voluntary. They live here on purpose. These are ghosts that actually want to haunt the house. Most of them are people who have visited here many years ago and then died, who lived in the capital and thought, oh, this is a haunted house. It'd be kind of cool if I could haunt it. So they do. She allows them to dwell there with her.
All right, so wait, back to this shouldn't exist.
She pulls out an old tome, and it's huge. She sets it on a pedestal that is about as big as the book and opens it up, and you see a depiction of a battle. you see Warforged that look just like you fighting dragon riders and hordes of big mean things. And then she points to one of them that's in the mouth of a dragon. And she says, "You shouldn't be here." And then she closes the book and returns it to the shelf. And then says, "Come, back to basement. Boxes to move, boxes to move."
What? But
Okay.
I
Can you complete a sentence?
1092 has notes to make.
At the end of the 10 days, she has built one.
Oh
It
dear.
is more Shield Guardian right now than it is you, in that it's not self-aware yet.
This is dangerous.
But it's basically in a moment of poignancy, she basically says, "I have this. Don't need you anymore. End of days. End of 10 days. Your friends come, they get item, you go. This one move boxes. This one has less questions." Then she goes over to the big book and she opens it again to that picture and she looks at you and her face softens. And she leans against the book. She looks down at it and then she looks up at you and there's actually tears in her eyes. And she says, "I'm sorry." And then she points to a dwarf in the depiction with a mask over its face, a metal mask over its face that's fighting some things. And she, Iron Face clan. And she points and she says, "All gone. No more. All gone. You are last of Iron Face. I'm sorry. Go to city with no name. Talk to them. Order of the Hammer. Be careful. They are fanatics." And then she grabs a bunch of pages and opens it up. Opens the book up, and you see a grand dwarven hall. And she says, "Home still exists. Now in hands of Golden Eye clan. But still there. Comforting. Comforting." And she closes the book and she slides it back into its place and then pulls it out again, and it's normal size this time. And you look up and the big book is still there. And she hands you the regular size hardcover book and she says, "A copy. Take."
He takes it and nods.
And she looks at you and she says, "Reason I am in Capital. I am nice. Come back. Talk to me. Have enjoyed your company. Next time, won't use you for labor. That's why I have this."
He smiles softly and nods his head.
She
stop by.
walks off to the main hall waiting for your party to show up.
I follow.
What are you chewing on? Hey, go get a chew toy. Not the Nilla box. Those Nilla wafers, if you get into that, your mother will hang me. Anyway, so you guys show up, and when you show up, she's sitting on the throne just like before, jaw open, head tilted. The two items are lying on a table in front of her. And 1092, if he wasn't in that room when you arrive, he pops in there.
Yep, sorry. Just making more notes. That's a lot of notes.
And yeah. What do you guys choose?
I'm taking the quiver.
Okay. You take the quiver, her jaw shuts, her head cricks up. She takes the broom and she hands it to Zyra.
Okay.
Me likey.
She says, enchantment of armor and weapon too expensive. Here, take broom. They won't let me leave here anyway.
Okay.
Come back, keep old woman company sometime. I'll show you my anything. And then she goes back.
Okay, at this point, we're not allowed to pimp Dane out for 10 days. Just so we're clear.
Why?
That said, though, if we get to a dwarven pub, you and I are having some drinks, and then we'll see about the pimping.
Goes back to her, false deadedness.
How much is one of them brooms?
It's uncommon, so it's anywhere between 500 and 5,000, or 100 and 500.
All right.
Here it would probably be 300 to 400.
300 and it's done. I'll take one.
You're gonna buy one?
Yeah.
He might find it way too useful one day.
She pops up when you say that, and she goes, "Buy broom? Do I have another one? Oh yes, have 5." And she appears. There appears a broom closet. And she opens it up, moves a mop bucket out of the way, a couple of things.
Guys, let's all get one. We can play Quidditch.
Brush comes running out and scurries away. She grabs a broom, and then she grabs another one. She goes, what kind? Basically, she's got one that has like
the Firebolt 9000.
Firebolt 9000.
She's got one that has your typical broom, like sweeping broom with a straw bottom and wooden handle. And then she's got another one that looks like a witch's flying broom. So basically a modern looking broom or a witch's flying broom.
What kind of broom does...
You cut out. What'd you say?
I think he asked what kind of broom does Zyra have.
She has the witch looking one.
So the modern, what does the modern broom look like? Is it like an actual like broom like nowadays?
Yeah, it's got a blue painted metal handle, and on the bottom of it, it has straw.
So I'll take the one that looks more witch-like, and I'll pay for.
Oh, you want to match me?
Modifications later.
Okay, yep.
I'll make it look better later.
He hands it to you, or she hands it to you, takes the money, make sure to take the money off.
Yep.
Throws the other broom in the closet. And then she says, now where did that paintbrush go?
I point in the direction of where the paintbrush went.
She, looks at the version of 1092 that she has. And she says, you, go get paintbrush. Likes to hang out in kitchen.
So she made him to be a servant. Got it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's why she was saying she was gonna basically have the remake and do moving boxes in the basement.
Is this the first time they're seeing the other Warforged now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Listen,
Like it doesn't
You're
even
kind-
phase Grandius because he's just completely like, yes, I shall fly like the gods.
your kindness has been recognized and appreciated, milady.
Yeah. Don't tell too many people.
You mentioned us spending time with you, getting to know you better, and keeping you company.
Yes, anytime. My door always open.
We're going to be gone for quite some time. I'm not sure when we'll be back. Would you care to sit with us and we can all drink some tea this evening?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So we'll all sit and have a little tea party with the hag.
Yep. And I mean, she's.
Does
when
Riccardo
she's
drink
not
tea or does he only drink
her-
beer?
When she's not putting on her facade, she's just like everybody's grandmother, except a little twitchy.
A little twitchy.
I would toss Gracalo a flask that has some dwarven like whiskey in it.
There we go.
Stop
How
keeping
much
the
would a-
habit.
How much would a hip flask with dwarven whiskey in it cost anyway, DM?
A who?
If I wanted to
Oh,
buy
a
a
hip
hip flask,
He wants to
Oh, God.
feed the habit even more. Now
That's-
he's getting intoxicated while we fight. He's gonna miss
I'd
everything.
say probably something like 2 silver or something.
Yeah, it's inexpensive.
I just want to say in the last 10 days that I would have bought one.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care. You're not feeling well now. You take.
2 copper pieces for a 1 pint flask.
That's cheap.
Yep.
This whole time, by the way, 1092 has been holding tightly to the book.
I figured.
Grandius is taking a quick look at it, trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah. The other thing that everybody kind of notices because he's making no hiding of it is that 1092 is, white knuckling if he had knuckles. This hardcover book. But anyway,
I would also return his belongings that he asked me to take.
Yeah.
And how much would it cost to fill up the flask with whiskey, dwarven whiskey?
dwarven whiskey, for 1 pint. Ugh. Let's see.
How does gold compare to like dollars? Just as an
It's considered a lot of dollars.
Yeah, they basically think coppers would be like
Coin change.
pocket change, and then silver would be your dollar bills. Where gold would be more like your 50s, 100s.
okay, cool.
I always considered, just to make it easy. I always considered 1 gold to be the equivalent of $100, just because it makes it easy to calculate in my head.
Yeah.
But other people make it more equivalent to like 1,000. It all depends really on your DM.
Man, I'm rich. I wish I had this much money in real life.
I'm gonna say 1 silver for whiskey.
Okay.
Because it's 4 copper for ale, so for whiskey I'd just kind of double it. But instead of making it 8 copper, I'll just bump it up to 1 silver.
That works.
So that's yeah.
So I gave
Alright.
Riccardo some to spike up his tea if he needs to.
It costs more for the drink than it did the
flask. Yeah.
I just
so
shake my head.
do we learn anything from her while we're having tea and spiked tea?
She does have questions. What is your current adventure? You know, back when she was younger, she was a hag. I mean, you know, she was defeated and brought to the king for judgment. And the king said, well, your judgment for eating all of these adventurers, a king before Thesis.
Oh, great. She ate adventurers, and we're having tea with her, and we're all adventurers.
She is a hag.
She's reformed. Mostly.
I don't know. She did say we were tasty.
She was sentenced to permanent servitude. Now she is an enchanter. Only she's an enchanter who has her own shop. And they gave her a rundown mansion to live in. But the thing is that she can never leave. This mansion is her prison.
Speaking of which, I would assume that in the past 10 days, 20 days, whatever it ended up being, that we've been in town, I'd assume that we've gone to speak with the enchanter that we sent to the capital to see how he's adjusting to life in town.
Yeah, he is still working for Baltus.
Just kind of sparked my memory when you said that she's working as an enchanter.
Yep, no, he's still working for Baltus, only it's less of a punishment now.
Okay.
Now he's actually more like a student. Because, I don't know, the Baltus sees something in him.
Tony, I don't have it in my inventory. I must have forgot to mark it. What was it that the king gave me? Something that I could escape to, like a enchanted
bag of acorns.
Okay.
It's a bag of acorns. You pop the top, and you're in a ethereal wood.
Thank you. Did he say how many acorns were in it?
It's probably like 10, 20. Yeah, 20.
Okay. I just want to make sure I had that in my inventory.
Yep.
Speaking of the gifts from the king, I have an errand to run before we flee the capital.
We're not fleeing.
We're not fleeing, we're flying.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's
some
how
of
he
us
feels.
anyway.
Maybe he feels like we're running the hell away from the city because he's a druid.
True.
So would you like to do while we're in town then?
I would like to take a look at Baltus's library, I think is what
Yes.
the king gave me.
Yes, you and you alone are given permission to go into Baltus's main library.
I can't bring the wizard with me?
I'll keep
2 weeks that we
I'll
were
keep
here.
track of the 3,000 gold on my person for us guys.
Okay.
That
I'm
works.
taking 500 of that.
I think he's putting it like into
I was gonna put it
group.
as a community
Yeah.
gold
Okay.
fee.
Pay for like travel
1092?
costs because we're gonna need to take that boat, right?
1092.
Yes.
What you gained is worth a lot more than money.
Then never mind.
You got a clan name. You got information that you still have a home, although another clan is currently using it. And other information.
So if Zyra has a broom, does that mean somebody else gets her horse?
I was actually gonna offer it to Victor because where he's a
I see
druid,
that look on your face. Get over here.
But
where
the
he's a druid,
can
he
shape into a horse.
well, I was gonna ask because he has
Only
like
for an hour at a time.
yeah, and he
come.
has a connection with animals, and I figured he would appreciate having an animal in his company.
Yeah.
Me and
that's
him
true.
have
The-
similarities in our characters. He can.
Riccardo,
We
listen,
both like creatures.
Yeah, I
so
like
we have
riding in the cart.
we have that familiarity. So
you don't want to be riding a horse when you're drinking, and you know
No.
he's got the flask, and I need somebody
we're
to
gonna
ride
stick
shotgun.
the drink.
I
Drunk-
like riding in the cart.
Say you're gonna ride the cart when you're drunk because you're gonna topple over. Just stick the drunk Riccardo in the back of the cart.
Okay. 1092 is probably going to look for you for some input on this.
Okay. We'll have to see what I know about dwarven history through some rolls and.
Someone got locked
They
in
are
their
still holding
kennel.
tightly onto this book.
Bad boy.
Dev, refresh your camera. Oh, did your computer die? Okay, Devin's computer died.
He didn't plug it in, did he?
Probably not.
Anyway.
So, Victor, would you like my horse?
Sure, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There we go.
So the community gold is going to go towards paying for keeping the horses fed.
Transport.
Yeah, and any other transportation costs we may come on.
Yep.
For instance,
And-
the cost of a boat to get the where we need to go for
Yeah.
out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, I
Tony,
mean, and
before we
essentially-
leave, I need to know how much it's going to cost me to get rations for my pets for the trip. Some of it I'm going to do foraging along the road because
Right.
I've got rodents, so it should be fairly easy to forage for them. But I do want to have something on hand in case we go somewhere I don't find anything.
Do you remember how much it cost for just you?
No, I don't.
10 days rations is. Hang on, I'm already there.
I mean, I could just share mine with them and just eat half. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what I would feed a lemur and a fox. So
Berries, maybe?
that's what I was thinking. I could probably just find that stuff mainly on the road.
Bugs too,
Fox
maybe.
eat meat, but I also hunt, so I can hunt for him too.
Oh.
My lemur's gonna ride on my shoulder most of the time, and his name is Julius, like Madagascar Julius.
Right.
Nice.
I
And
thought
my
it
Is your fox going to eat Julius?
My
I thought it was
fox is
Tilly.
not going to eat Julius. They are
I thought it was
trained,
Tilly.
and my fox's name is Timo.
I thought the lemur's name for I thought it was King Julian, not Julius.
Oh, fine, we're going with
It
Julian.
is
then.
Julian.
That's what I meant to do.
Okay.
Did anybody get the Timo reference, or am I the only League of Legends gamer here?
The what?
Play League.
League of Legends.
Yeah, I don't play League.
Yeah, Timo's a character on League of Legends.
I'm assuming he's a fox.
He is.
Is he the one with the guns? Or is that something else?
No, Timo leaves poisonous mushrooms around.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. He's like the most
So-
popular character.
5 silver, so 1.
I'll post a
gold.
picture in Discord. Hold on.
It's 5 gold for 10 days worth of rations
For me?
because it's 5 silver per day.
Uh-huh.
So no, it's 10 gold because it's doubled because it's 10 days. So 10 days of rations is 5 gold, and
I put a picture of Timo in Discord.
Yep, that's who I thought it was.
Yep.
Not the gun guy, but
He does a blow dart.
so because you would eat more than them, have that. So in total, you're looking at
20.
No. You do 10 gold for yourself, or 5 gold for yourself, plus
Okay.
another 2, 3, 4, 5, plus another 2 gold. So 7 total per 10 days.
All right.
And that will feed you and your animals rations.
Okay, then I'm gonna forage along the way and
You're
hunt
not
too.
eating well, you're eating
Right.
enough to live.
So I'll do 20 days worth then. So
You're eating like Bear Grylls out
so
in the wild.
14 gold is what I need for 20 days worth.
Yep.
All right.
Now, does this book that she handed me have the clan logo on, like the clan symbol on it, or no?
The Iron Face?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the mask itself is the symbol. They all wear the same mask in battle.
Throughout the day, 1092 would look over at Dane. Does this mean anything to you?
Dane, you've never seen it before in your life.
No, not even anything I might have come across in a history book or anything. I can't roll history to see if I.
Well, it's ancient history, but go ahead and try.
Nope.
Yep. It's a mask.
So glad I got a 1 out on that. It appears to be a dwarven make.
Yes.
Never seen anything like it otherwise.
That's a mask right there.
Oh, that's funny.
Far too beautiful make to be anything produced by elven hands.
Did I get the quiver too?
1092 got the quiver.
Okay. I'm
He
over carrying
sacrificed
capacity,
himself
so.
Depending on what that is that you're considered over carrying capacity, keep in mind most of that's going in the cart. Don't worry about the actual weight you're carrying because a lot of stuff it does go in.
Not to mention the quiver can carry a bunch of stuff.
Good, so I can
And
stick
it
all
only
my
weighs 2
rations in the back of
pounds.
the cart. that's what's
Well,
weighing me
what I
down.
would assume is that you're all combining your rations into one chest.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was gonna say rather than that, I
I'll
can
just put a
take
0
all
weight
of
for
the
that.
rations- I can take all of the rations into the bag of holding.
You don't want to do that.
No, we'll just put them in the cart.
And Tony,
Because here's the thing: is the people will be bugging you all the time.
Hey, I need
day's ration-
food. Feed
the way
me.
that it's done is a day's rations. You eat like Bear Grylls.
Yeah, those
Every
rations weigh
20
a lot.
minutes or so, or every couple of hours, you have some of your rations to keep your energy up. It's not one meal.
I just zeroed out my rations weight, so I didn't have it listed. I went from 124 to 64.
Yep.
Those are weighing me down for 20 days rations for me and my animals. Because mine weighed 2 pounds per ration. My animals I halved for 1 pound since they're little. So yeah, that was really weighing me down. All because I wanted to buy in bulk.
So, Tony, how long are we going to be on the road this time? And also, I would like to apologize because a lot of the travel we did through the other towns, we forgot to deduct money for food and expenses for the horse.
Yep.
Well, it all depends on where you're going. I have to make next session. So I need to know where you guys are going in order to be able to do that, and I need to know where you're going in order to calculate how long it's going to take.
I would say we're going to go after the water staff because we've
Yep.
got all the stuff to do it.
Well, I was gonna say we'd check down at the town with the Mrs. Plenty, see if we can check about her books, and then we'd head east to the.
Sorry, you're going to have to repeat that. I tripped over the dog.
I said we'd. I was thinking we'd head down to the town with Mrs. Plenty. I forgot the name of the town. And see about checking the books from her great uncle. See if we can find any information on the staffs, and then head east to the town that we'd take a boat from.
The town you can take a boat from no longer exists. Remember?
The town that we got, that we came into port.
Yeah, remember it was burnt.
Poison
No,
burned to the ground.
no, yeah, poison burnt to the ground, but we docked much further north.
Oh, yeah. It's
Did
not a town.
It was just
Oh, right,
remember
right,
that
right.
was just like a docking place, like a boat ramp.
Barracks or whatever it was
Yeah.
called, the place where we would take off from.
But that's just a boat landing. It's not an actual town.
Right, but we'd be able to go there to rent a boat. Is what I'm getting.
I don't think there's docks that rent boats. I think it's literally just
Yeah,
one tiny little dock.
It's
Just like a boat landing.
well, it's a place of where supplies are landed from other places that go to the capital and then are dispersed out for trade. That's how that works.
I mean, we could
So-
go down there and sit and wait for a boat to show up, but we might be waiting a while.
So
It's
what
a
I
regular
would
port,
be what I would be asking is there a location nearby that we would be able to go to get a boat to go out to the location that we need to in order to go down in the water?
Yes, I'm trying to tell you. The place that you got, that you landed to get into the capital is a port. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
not
what
a
I was
town.
saying. Right. That's what I was saying. So we would look at going to the town of that Mrs. Plenty lives in, ask her about seeing the books that she has from her great uncle, and then after looking at those, we'd look at going over to that port.
Regarding rations, I
Yes.
know the spell. No, I mean I'm like for the group. I know the spell Goodberry. So on days when we aren't that concerned about using up all our spell slots, I mean that's allows like I can do that in lieu of us using our ration.
Yes, Goodberry is a very good spell for days out on the road. I.e., going from where you are now. If you're going to go down to...
Yeah, I just bought my rations for nothing.
Huh? No.
Not quite.
No, because he has to use a spell slot to do it. So basically, there's your rations, and then basically, Goodberry is a spell you use when you can't find any rations or you're running low and don't want to use them all, because it takes a spell slot to do it. Or the other thing you can do with Goodberry is cast it at the end of the day. When you make camp, you eat a dinner of Goodberries, plus your rations, which means that you cast the spell, you have more food than you normally would with Goodberry and your rations, fill yourself up, and go to sleep. Then the next day you'll have your spell slot back. Yeah, that's what it is. Whew. Sorry, I had to clean up after the dog. He shit on my floor again.
That's all right. We're probably calling it soon, huh?
We are.
Have we left yet?
No.
No, you're still in the capital. I was going to have you guys leave tonight and then arrive wherever you're going the beginning of next session.
Okay. Because I kind of want to go to like a library of sorts and go get some healing herb books.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
I also had some business with Balthus.
Right.
You do, and we need to role play that because we were interrupted.
What was it the quiver of?
What was the name of it? The quiver of a named person.
Ilana.
As I say, it's a woman, I think.
Sounded elvish.
Mm-hmm.
Quiver of Ilana.
But anyway, yeah, we
EHLONNA.
EL what?
EHLONNA.
All right, I am gonna pop off for the night.
all right.
Night, Dan.
Have a good night, everyone.
So yeah, Victor. You the library that you're shown to is within his tower. And his tower is in the courtyard of the castle. His tower is fucking huge. It's probably a mile wide at the base.
Jesus Christ.
And it goes up and
Hey,
sort of
Lord.
contours inward to a peak, to a spire. So it can't be stood on up top. But you're taken to a floor. You don't know which, because you're teleported there. And are now in a vast library, probably 3 or 4 stories in and of itself. And that's how tall the shelves are.
I am suitably impressed.
And it has those rolling ladders attached to the shelves.
It's like Beauty and the Beast.
Pretty much, yes.
I presume I'm not there because it's a different
No,
library.
he said nobody else could go.
Yeah, it's just for him.
Okay then.
If you're looking to buy a book, what Grandius, it just depends on the book you're trying to buy. Anyway, what specific information are you looking for, Victor? It says Baltus the Wizard. He's there with you.
Well, anything you have on the staffs would, of course, be useful.
The staffs? I don't remember all of them still. I'm trying to remember them as I go. So the only information that I remember about them is 3 of them. And those are the 3 that you guys have already heard about. There is no information on their whereabouts. Because if there was, he wouldn't have needed to hire you guys.
Okay.
But he would have their information on the staffs and what they do. I just don't remember all of them. I know that there's a staff of water. I know that there's a staff of necromancy. I know that there is a broken staff of seeing. I know that there's the staff of minions is one of them.
Do you happen to have any dictionaries of ancient Dwarvish, perchance? Or books about
ancient Dwarvish? Of what era?
I wouldn't know. One of our friends, one of my companions, I suppose, received from the king a book about the Warforged. It was written in ancient Dwarvish, and no one seems to be able to.
Well, Warforged. Well, that would be. That would be during the war. The Orc War, I mean. Warforged fought in the final battle.
Yes.
Ancient Dwarvish. Perhaps. And he points to a shelf about a third of the way up. And he says, languages are over there. Feel free to peruse.
Thank you. Out of character, how much time am I able to spend as a result of the king's request?
As much time as you want, but it is, unless you befriend Baltus, at this point it's a one-time trip.
Okay.
However, you are allowed parchment, i.e. if there's something you want to copy down, like common words, common phrases, things like that. You won't be able to translate the entire book because he didn't give it to you.
Right.
For one, and it would take too long for 2. However, you may be able to translate a portion of it. Or portions of it.
If I had known he was going to get the look up a book of ancient Dwarvish, I would have gave him the book.
Yeah, but there was no way you could have known.
It turns out that I also know Dwarvish. Is there any way that I can use this dictionary and my knowledge of Dwarvish to sort of expand what I'm able to?
Well, as I told 1092, because 1092 also knows Dwarvish, these symbols, some of them are similar. So you and he would be able to pick out phrases, words, but it's possible that you might be able to pick out different words than he does, and he would be able to pick out different words from you. And that was whatever knowledge you write down from your research, depending on how much time you tell me you spend, will make it easier. In other words, if the two of you work together, plus the information that you gather today, depending on how much time you spend,
okay. I'd like to spend the better part of the day there.
Okay. Now, remembering that you have 2 weeks in the capital. So do me a favor and roll a basic charisma check. Just roll and add your charisma modifier.
Just right from my, just click charisma in my.
Just click charisma. Just make sure you're not doing a saving throw.
So I can just click the charisma button on the leftmost side.
I believe so. Let me check.
It's not in the saving throw section.
No, you should be able to just, the thing that says charisma 0 with a 10 underneath it.
Yep.
If you click that word charisma, it should roll for you.
Okay.
14. Okay. He likes you to the point of tolerating your presence.
Is this uncommon?
You're not a part of the group he originally hired and are therefore not under contract with them, which means you can bugger off whenever you need. And he doesn't really like that aspect of it, that you haven't officially offered your services to quest with them for these 10 stabs. But given that you are trying to help out their Warforged, he gives you 2 days, 48 hours, if you want them.
I would accept them most graciously.
Okay. So the 48 hours you can stretch. It's basically 2 days, 48 hours, but you don't have to stay there for 2 full 24-hour periods. You can stay for 12, come back for another 12, come back for another 12, and then come back for another 12 over the course of the 10 days that
we were in town for.
That you were in town. Or you can just stay there studying for 48 hours straight.
I would prefer to break it up over the several days.
Okay. Given that you break it up, you're able to glean information without exhaustion. So with that, write down that you have an inspiration die.
Just tick the inspiration box on the character sheet.
Yep. And with that, that's going to be... Oh, where are you? That's going to be a D8. So just in notes somewhere, write down just INSP 1D8. And what that means is that when the two of you sit down to try and translate this book, you're not going to get all of it. But when the two of you roll, or one of you rolls and takes advantage, you also get to roll 1d8 to add to your total. Normally, an inspiration die can be used at your discretion, like when you want it to up a skill or something like that. However, this one is specific for this role.
Okay.
So if you choose not to use it, it goes away. But there it is. So, yeah.
This is going to be really interesting once I get to the city of no name.
Oh yeah, we'll have a lot of things to cover there.
Honestly, he would probably let Dane, 1092 would probably let Dane read the book if he wanted to.
The book that he's white knuckling?
Yes. I'm assuming it would probably be written in Dwarvish.
The book that the hag gave you?
Yes.
Yes. It is written in Dwarvish. But you can tell that it hasn't been translated. In other words, the book that she copied, is not an ancient book. It tells of ancient tales and it has information on it that nobody else knows. How she came across it, is impossible. Without asking her directly, is impossible to know.
I don't think I would ask.
But yeah, it's a good book for you to have. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it.
Okay.
We didn't do any of the maps that I spent the afternoon making.
So I believe with the next session, we would be on our way out of town. Guys, just to set it for where we're headed, are we headed to the southeast to the port to get a boat and head for the staff, or are we headed south to get information from the books in the town?
Before Dane left, it seemed that you were gonna go to San Juan first.
Okay.
To see what
information
Mrs. Plenty had in her attic.
Right.
That seemed to be what was going on.
Okay.
So you will be either, depending on what I'm able to do, you will be either on the road to San Juan or arriving there next week.
Okay.
And then from there, the plan may change, but from there, the plan was to go hire a boat.
Right. I might suggest a detour to take care of the Horse Thieves Fortress while we're right in the town now that we've gotten a little bit beefier. But yeah.
Yeah, you can bring that up next week.
Yep.
I have a large.
We'll bring it up next. What about the book that I want?
Oh, well, yeah. Go ahead. What book are you looking for? Sorry about that.
Something about like herbalism, so I can get some medications in case somebody gets like poisoned or something out in the wild.
Okay, so you're looking for.
I already have one of those.
You got one of those?
A book of herbalism? Yeah.
Didn't
you snag that from the library that we found randomly? That was from that weird.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I also snagged a book.
I have an herbalism kit too. I just keep forgetting to study so that I can learn to make potions. I've got to start doing that regularly.
Okay.
I also have a book of. I think what is this power of the staves? I think I snagged a book about the power of the staves or something.
Herbal remedy book. That's what my book's called.
The power of the staves?
I think that's one of the books that were in that library. I have something in my inventory labeled Power of Staves. I think I may have snagged a book in that library about the stabs.
Okay.
No one. I just have something called The Power of the Stabs in my inventory.
Right. Oh, that's right. I need to buy the book.
I also still have the Idiot's Guide to Firearms.
Well, yeah, I mean, you may have respect, but that doesn't mean that everything that happened before didn't happen.
I'm just saying, I still have the book, just in case anyone else wants it.
I don't know. Grondius was pretty interested in your musket.
Yeah, well, no. No, Zyra, on the other hand, I may give.
What?
The book of Idiot's Guide to Firearms.
What am I gonna do with that? I don't use firearms.
I don't know. Maybe reading the book you could eventually.
I don't want to.
I'll take it. I want it.
I'm
not giving it to the cleric.
I'm a forest elf. I belong in the woods. I use a bow and arrow because it's as close to fighting with nature as I can get. So no, I'm not going to use guns.
Then. I don't know. Someone might find it interesting. I'm just not giving it to the cleric.
Why?
Unless if you have to buy it off of me.
Oh my god.
I take this as an opportunity.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I don't want to give the cleric the book.
You said it.
I know, but he broke my musket when I had it.
Just because he has the book doesn't mean that he'll get a musket.
Right?
It's completely under the power of the DM. So there's a guide to how to. Hold on a second. I believe it's how. So let me see. Needed guide to firearms and how to repair them. Okay. I looked at the full name. It's the Idiot's Guide to Firearms and How to Repair Them.
Oh. I will take this.
Uh-oh, he's taking my book.
No, I just found a chart that tells me how much and how long it takes, how much it costs, and how long it takes to brew or craft healing potions.
And what is the answer?
The answer is be proficient in brewing, and I will tell you.
Be proficient in brewing?
Brewing.
Yeah.
Is that something I learned from reading my book?
You probably would have had to try it.
How long, out of curiosity, would I have to read before I'd be able to attempt to start making potions? How much studying do I need to do?
Well, you have to be proficient in it.
Okay, how do I become proficient in it?
I would have said she attempted a couple of things first, while reading the book and everything.
I would say you need to...
I'm proficient in medicine. And I'm proficient in nature.
You would need to make a certain check on that.
Okay.
In other words,
me and Mike will be starting to discuss how much this book is going for.
I am going to look up.
Because I'm going to...
I have a thing here that tells me the time and cost of brewing.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to figure out what the check is.
Michael, you can start your bargaining in here.
Because I'm thinking while we're traveling to our next destination, every night while we're traveling, when we bed down for the night, I like to research my book, and if I have the ability to gather the ingredients to make potions, I like to gather any that I can, like in the wild.
Right.
I'm sure I can't get all of them, but any I can find out in the wild will save me money. That way I can attempt to start brewing.
Come in and attempt to bargain for this. Question is, how much do I trust you with a firearm?
See, this could come in handy with my critters, because if I get them trained well enough, I can send them out every time we go down for the night, and they can bring me back my ingredients. My pets are handy.
Yeah, they might become useful.
Hey, you shut up. You know darn well Miko has been very handy in our other D&D campaign.
Yeah, they might become useful.
Hey, shush, you. He scouts ahead so we don't have to, and we already know what's where. He finds little nooks and crannies and loot that we don't find with our own eyes. He's very handy. I love my raccoon.
He might become useful.
Shut up, you. Unlike you. The drunken elf.
Wow.
Who's constantly trying to get his party killed and in trouble.
Hey, we both know that ain't on purpose.
Uh-huh. You keep telling yourself that.
Oh my god.
Your subconscious is trying to kill us.
Oh my god. You're horrible.
Hey, have any of you guys played Oxygen Not Included?
I do.
It's so much fun.
It is difficult, but yes, it's fun.
So much fun. Oh my god, I just started playing it the other day. Devin got it for me. It is addicting.
I haven't made it past cycle 130.
6 hours went by, like, on my computer. I started playing, and before I knew it, I looked at the clock. 6 hours went by like that. I was like, oh my god, it's dark out. I'm not sure what cycle I'm on anymore. I just know that when I first started, I didn't really do any research on how to play the game, and I lost 2 of my characters within like 10 cycles, and then I was down to just the one, and it took me forever before I realized how to print more.
You click on the thing.
Yeah, but I didn't realize I had to choose a character because it like didn't highlight the print. I couldn't click on the print button because I hadn't chose one of the characters to print, and I didn't realize I had to click on it to print it. It took me forever to figure that out. But
sure,
I'm still having a really hard time figuring out the ins and outs of all of it. It's very confusing.
First research, farming.
Yeah.
I already researched plumbing, and I researched everything I can research on the first level. I can't research anything else until I have advanced research or whatever, but I don't know how to get advanced research, so...
You literally click on the thing saying it that says advanced research.
Oh no!
And it gives you a supercomputer you can build.
Yeah, it says I need a supercomputer in order to research anymore, but I don't know how to get a supercomputer.
You research the supercomputer.
I don't have that option yet.
Now I have homes for sale and their cost and what they have in them, table of magic item rarity, and potion brewing in my notes.
Sweet.
Alrighty.
I have no interest in owning a home. I'm a forest elf. I'll live in a tree and be happy.
1092 doesn't really need a home. Alright. What's your offer?
Oh, here we go.
You're gonna have to go up very high.
1092, what are you doing?
They're trying to bargain on the book.
What book?
The Book of Firearms and How to Repair Them.
Grandius wants it, and 1092 says he has to buy it from him. So now they're negotiating.
Hey, 1092.
Yes.
DM has final say on how much it's worth.
Oh, okay. You say how much it's worth, but but this is between player and
you
player.
have the right to say how much you want him to spend on it, but I'm going to tell him whether or not it's fair. I have to be present for these negotiations.
All right, fine. Michael, get on Discord.
Devin, we're not hearing anything you're saying.
All right, then.
Devin, we're not hearing anything you're saying.
Is he trying to bargain now?
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
He's not muted.
God, now I got Riccardo trying to bargain.
Still
for
can't hear you, honey.
The book.
Anyway.
There we go.
I do that all the time. Now you know how I feel.
Whoops. Anyway, no. What I was gonna say is, unless Gilthane goes to check a library or something for himself, there's no way that he would know the actual value of the book.
Gilthane?
Sorry.
Grondius?
Yes, Grondius. I don't know why the hell I said Gilthane. Anyway.
Where the hell did you get that name from?
Gilthane's my dwarf name.
Yes. Yeah. His handle on Discord. Anyway. So unless Grondius would go to a library to check the value of the book, there's no way that he's going to know how much this book is actually worth. So if 1092 charges some 500 gold, he can buy it, or he would need to go check the actual value. Because he's not going to have any way of knowing that that's a good price or a bad price. He's never encountered the book. 1092 is the one that bought it.
No, I didn't buy it. I technically stole it.
Or stole it. As the case may be.
We took it from the Elves library, remember? All right, sorry. Correction. I took it from the book.
So, is there a negotiation happening, or am I going to go get some food?
Make an offer, Michael.
5 gold pieces.
I don't know if I trust you with that gun.
Well, you're not exactly trusting him.
You're not giving him a gun. You're giving him a book.
I know.
Got it good.
If it's a book that tells him how to use one.
Yeah, he still has to buy one.
Yeah, he'd still have to go out and buy a
Gold
gun.
to buy one. I know this. He has the gold to go buy one. $100.
How'd you jump from 5 to 100?
Easy, that's my price. And that's
I'll
where
give
I
you
go.
a clue. A book that is non-magical and is just a book about some random thing is worth book price 25 gold.
All right, then I'm staying on. Then I'll do 20. No, I'm gonna do 26 because I don't trust him with a gun.
All right, 6 pieces of gold. I can do that.
What? I did not say 6.
I heard
it
6.
came out as 6 through Discord, but you said 26. I'm assuming.
Yes, I said 26.
The reason they're worth 25 gold is because paper and binding.
26, so it would be 1 over the normal price of a book, right?
Yes.
But that's if you can find another book on how to use them and how to repair them.
Wait, what? Oh, I see.
It's a book about how to use and repair. I haven't.
Right.
And as you. And
oh my god,
you
the game's still going. Holy crap.
And you said that the oh god, that
we're losing. Devin, we're losing.
We're losing what?
Patriots game that's going on right now. 20-24, we're losing.
Spoilers.
I don't think
Alright.
anybody here actually watches football.
Hang on. Who are we playing?
Ravens.
My offer is actually just 25 right now.
I guess if I could find a stream for it.
And 25 is the normal price for a book.
That's what Tony said.
Mm,
I can actually catch the end of the game. I can't believe it.
do I know how much a hat is?
Book,
That was
equipment,
fast.
cost 25 gold.
Hat. Not a book. A hat.
Uh-oh, he's gonna buy a hat and bribe me with the hat.
Oh my god. Of course.
Nope, not really. I'm just doing it anyways.
Oh, item.
Mm,
There we go.
stupid freaking ads. Thought I had an ad blocker on here. I do. It's not working.
Depends. If you want a fancy one, 5 gold.
Mm.
No, I'm sorry. 5 gold. No, because it's 15 gold for the whole suit. So it's not 5 gold. It's going to end up probably being like a gold for a fancy hat.
I'll pay
15
20
gold
and
for
I'll
fine
get
clothing.
if you want a really fancy hat, I'll get you one of those and 20 gold.
Can he roll can he roll persuasion for this one? See if it works on 1092.
This is a player on player thing. I don't think that's how it works.
I
No,
know.
no, it would.
It would be persuasion versus
Willpower.
wisdom. There is no willpower.
Yeah,
So it'd be persuasion versus what? A wisdom saving?
Well, it wouldn't. Well, I don't think it would be a saving throw. I think it would just be a check. It's a contested check.
All right. All right, Michael, make your persuasion. Because 1092 likes his hats. But he's also torn on about giving you a gun. Or at least a book about it.
I don't know why. I clicked the button, it just didn't pop up. 16.
And you said
wisdom.
Wisdom,
Saving
just
throw.
a check, not a saving throw.
Fuck it. Damn it.
It works.
Dice have spoken.
It works.
Fancy hat, and 20 gold.
Done.
Now you have to go get me a fancy hat.
What
Yeah,
type of
that's
fancy
easy.
hat?
Fancy hat, 1 gold, done.
You can. I'm pretty sure you can make the hat whatever you want, just so long as it's a fancy one.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's like one of those big brim feathered, like the one I have in Sea of Thieves kind of hat. The
You and your hats. Jeez and crow.
called? What is that kind of hat called?
Are we talking like a Kentucky Derby hat?
Well, we're talking big ol' like
Like a tricorn or something?
no, not a tricorn. Tony, how would you describe the hat my character is wearing in Sea of Thieves with the big feather and the big brim?
I don't know.
Like a wide brim. I don't know.
I don't understand why it's so hard to find a free stream for an NFL game.
There should be on Twitch. There should be
Twitch
a channel
streams
that
it?
does them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sovereign hat. I just don't know what the hell it's based off of. It's the royal sovereign hat. Just don't know what type of hat that would be.
Mm.
Do 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 do.
You sure?
Yeah, I was just watching another game the other day.
How'd you find it?
It was in my regular feed.
Because all I find when I put in Patriots or NFL is like Madden.
The New England Patriots versus Baltimore. You have to pay for it.
You know what? I'm screwed. I'm just calling it the sovereign hat. Don't even know what it is. The people who play Sea of Thieves will know what it is. I'm just going to say I have a sovereign hat.
Yeah. What it was, Jazz, is according to this, it looks like. Oh no, I've got one.
There's a bunch of them.
Shut up.
All of them want me to click on something. To watch full HD quality live stream and free trial. I don't want to. I just want to watch this one in this little window.
Hang on.
Sovereign hat. Golden
Try.
Now I know
that.
Now I will no longer have the guide to firearms and how to use them. Alright, and with that I'll say good night.
Yep.
Have a good night, bud.
Night.
Alright.
Doubters will always have things to say about me.
I put up a link on Discord. It just had the game. It's a commercial now, but.
Until we find a reason to make a toast. And those who come from above always find a reason to stay. We gotta move now.
I assume this is where we stop now.
I believe so.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
good
that?
night, people.
Oh. Yeah,
Have a good night, bud.
Out.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I
Night,
gotta go make a
guys.
sandwich and go to bed.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good night, all.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope to catch you next week on Sunday night for Sunday Night D&D. We usually start around 7 Eastern time. We started a little bit late tonight. So next week on Sunday, 7 Eastern time, Sunday Night D&D. We also have D&D on Friday nights. Friday Night D&D, same time, 7 Eastern. We did not stream this last Friday because I got a late start. So we should be picking back up this Friday. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe below. Have a good night.